Our chalice lighting this morning comes from Andrew Pacula. He writes, "Let there be light against all the darkness in this world. O sacred flame, guide us with the light of hope, the warmth of our mutual loving, and the great beacon of our clear purpose. May it be so. In nomine
One of the most gratifying and inspiring and humbling experiences I've had as your board president has been to invite these 9 amazing individuals to serve on your search committee. They answered my call, our call, with such grace and conviction and love for this fellowship. I don't know if you've had a chance to read their bios that came out on Thursday, but each of them brings just remarkable experience and extraordinary perspective to this process, which promises to be one of the most important and exciting things we will do as a family together. I'm going to call them forward in alphabetical order. Elizabeth Berner, Truman Dunn, Kathy Orms, Julie Palm, Herman Schmidt, Mitch Tramato, Angie Vincoli, I'm sorry, Terry LeGrand. I was never very good with the alphabet. And Geraldine Zurich. Please join me in thanking them for the investment.
Today is an important day in the life of the congregation because you will formally initiate this committee and their work as they move forward. And work it will be, but good work. I'm asking you to engage with me in a 2-part ceremony. The first part will be one in which we will all engage in a responsive reading, you to the committee, and the committee to you. And then the second part, I'll ask the committee to form a circle, and I'll ask each of you to rise and come forward and to place your hand on the shoulder of committee members and of one another as you gather, to have the opportunity to speak out loud the things that are on your heart and mind, what you aspire to for this committee. Could you join with me in the responsive reading that we will see on the screen soon? And first, it is the congregation that speaks to the committee. Could you join with me? Today, we formally entrust you with primary and civil minister. Thank you for taking on this critical responsibility. We know it will require long hours and careful reflection, and are grateful to each of you for taking on this task. And now I would like the search committee to respond. We appreciate that you have entrusted us with this vital work. We will do our utmost to serve this congregation in the days ahead. We ask that you respect our independence as an entity. We ask for your wholehearted trust in us as we work. And fellowship members, could you respond with the next reading? We trust you and ask that you be mindful of what we value in ministry. Think also of our future and who we seek to be as a congregation. And may the search committee respond. Your aspirations and principles will always guide us. We look with hope to the future before us. Now I'd like to ask the Ministerial Search Committee to form a circle with your right here, with your backs to one another. And if you are able, and it doesn't matter if you're a member, of course it's important that you're a member, but also if you're even visiting for the first time, in a way your thoughts are important. But I would like to ask you to come forward as you're willing and able, and to place your right hand or your left hand on the shoulder of a committee member. And so we will do that with one another so that we will have everyone linked in to one circle. Could we do that now? You can form back this way as well. You can come around the back, those of you. Come around up this way. Come forward if you wish. Now that you've got yourself situated, you seem to be very happy with one another's company, which is a good omen. But I'd like for you to, for a moment, if you could come back and let's collect our thoughts. And now I'm going to ask you, in just a few seconds, I'm going to ask each of you who feel so moved to say a word of blessing, of encouragement, of affirmation, of perhaps your personal aspiration for this committee, mindful that they are about to go on this important task of finding your next settled ministry. Be mindful as well to pause a bit before you say something, but it's okay if we speak over one another as well. So let us begin. Those in the back rows, don't hesitate to say something.
Yeah, so
As I call upon you to bring things to a closure, you are the first congregation I've worked with who just fall into a big conversation. So I thank you, and does anyone have a parting blessing they would like to give to the search committee?
Thank you.
Trust.
Wow, okay.
Excellent mistake.
There you go. Just feel free to make mistakes, but not too many. Any last words before we go back to our seats?
Thank you.
Search ritual I've ever seen.
Surely that doesn't surprise
That's a good sign. Now, you are building your future right now. Part of the building blocks is what you've just done. You have brought together a fabulous, and they are fabulous, Ministerial Search Committee, and you have given them your blessing. Furthermore, you have created a new covenant, which you are now reading before or as you begin each service, to remind you of what is important as you relate to one another. You're developing a new governance system, which of course bores everybody, but it is the means by which you can do more of what you care about most deeply. That's what it's all about. It's about doing more good, more and better and more extensive good. You have shored up your preparations for taking care of your building. And one of the most amazing things about this congregation, which you didn't have to prepare for because you had it, is you are a very loving congregation. I have worked with many congregations, and I have never seen a congregation that is more loving towards its members and towards one another. So if you're a visitor or somebody considering membership, you are in for a very happy experience. It's a very loving community in this society we live in that is so filled with hostility. You have a new confidence in your future. So when Jenny said, everybody who was asked said, I'm in. Boy, that's a very important sign. A sign of belief in your future. Now I ask you to turn your attention now, briefly, to one other component. It's not the last component, but one other component that will help you build a foundation for the future. In April, we will begin a series of meetings called Fund the Vision. And it will be a series of parties. Did you hear what I said? Parties. And there will be free food and free wine at these parties. Did you hear me say free food and free wine? Okay. There will be occasion for dialogue about your future at these parties. You will have a chance to ask of me and of anyone present who represents the Stewardship Committee anything about the future and anything about this community. There will also be an opportunity to pledge. Let me share with you why that is important. Out there somewhere, we don't know where, out there is your new settled minister. And your new settled minister very likely does not live in Winston-Salem. They're from the Northeast, or they're from Colorado, or the West, somewhere in the Midwest, New England, the West Coast, Texas, who knows? And over that period where they and your search committee are interacting, they will say to themselves, should I cast my fate with the fate of this congregation? And bear in mind, they will have to take a journey to get here, to settle here. They might be from New York. They might be from Colorado. They might be from California. They might be from the Pacific Northwest. They might be from Texas. The new rabbi of one of the important Jewish synagogues in Winston-Salem is from Texas. He's the guy that was involved in the hostage situation down there. Great guy. He's casting his fate with the people of Winston-Salem. Now, if you were going to move 100 miles, 300 miles, 500 miles, and you were going to go a place where you potentially were going to live for the next 10 years, and let's say you had young children, wouldn't you want to be having a secure feeling about the place you went? I think you would. Put yourself in that person's shoes. Because what I'm telling you now is what they will be thinking, but they won't be telling you, the search committee, about these details. But it will be on their mind. They will be making big decisions about their future. They will want, I assure you, to enter a congregation which believes in its future. It's hard to discern that. I, of course, will be promoting this congregation to the skies, praising its infinite perfections, its loving people, the flawless character of all their leaders, and on and on. But these UU ministers are a suspicious line. And so they will be looking high and low for information on this congregation. Well, everybody, they'll figure out at some point, everybody's got their opinion, their biases, their perspective. How can I discern if this congregation believes in its future? Oh, I know. I will look at their budget, because their budget and their commitment to the future is the MRI of the congregation. It tells no lies. It reveals what the commitment is and where it is. Soon you will receive a copy of the budget being utilized during the stewardship drive, approved unanimously by the board for use in the stewardship campaign. They believed in it enough to do that. In this budget, you will see various ways that the budget seeks to strengthen the ministry of this congregation in a very holistic sense. Don't get lost in the details. It's all about a vision. A vision of looking into the future and imagining what this congregation could be. The ways it could impact the community. The ways it could work with the new rabbi and some other ministers new to the area to forge interdenominational, interfaith allyship that will help do things. There's so much capability here. We want to see it come to life. So please, I'm asking you as a first step to sign up for one of these parties that are all about your future. Not mine, but your future. You create your own future. And in the lobby or hallway or whatever it is that's called out here beyond the doors, you will see, you will find opportunities to sign up. And could you raise your hand? Could you stand up? And we'll be at that table. I don't call Ann. I refer to her as the Queen of Stewardship. And so we should all be very thankful. Please take the opportunity to avail yourself of this opportunity. Free food, free wine, great company. And now the choir. A reading for our meditation period comes from Reverend Amanda Schubert, who I knew very well when I worked in Huntsville and saw her go through the process of becoming a UU minister. And she writes this passage that reflects appreciation for the different types of people that are needed in a congregation to balance one another. She writes, in honor of the risk takers, those that hold the vision with clarity and charge forward with optimism in the face doubts of others. You are our lamp lighters and our guides. May we not ignore the light you shine upon our future. In honor of the cautious skeptics, those who gather the information needed to navigate the tumultuous waters of change, may we appreciate your attention to details that keep us on course and grounded in reality. In honor of the doubters, those who may fear the changing tides of a turbulent world, you are our anchors, and remind us of where we have been and where we are as a community now. May we relish your commitment to our history and your passion for who we have become. In honor of the dreamers, those who imagine what we can be to and in this world, you are the wind that blows the sails of change, pushing us ever forward. May we revel in that hope that dares us to never stop becoming. May the work we do together strengthen our community and our world. May we heed the call to always hold the vision of the free faith and to work towards justice. Together, we wield a powerful spirit that is what strengthens us all. Please remember to sign up for one of those wonderful, exciting parties that will be led by our stewardship campaign. And now, as we leave this place, may we remember that what we do and what we say and how we relate to one another and how we are in this world and what we stand for in this world really matters. And may we go in peace. Amen.